Namaskar viewers. We are very soon approaching 75 years of independence, and Bharat as a nation wants to be Vishwaguru, and we have that potential. 75 years, we do have our achievements and some areas to be worked on. So, remaining 25 years is a good time for us to improve and as well as showcase our talent even more impactful to the entire world. We do have a treasure of many things in our nation, just that we are not aware of it. And our society needs to get good education and awareness about this. So, when we say society, our future generation makes a big impact and plays a very big role here. So, whomsoever I'm talking, everyone has a single narrative that today's children are becoming intellectual and academician, but they are not a good citizen, or they do not come with the moral values that the earlier generation used to carry. So there is a group of people, like-minded people, who have been into this moral education for some time, and now they have rebranded their entire efforts under the name AHEAD. And AHEAD stands for the uh, Association for Holistic Education and Development. Now, what is meant by holistic? How are they going to achieve that? To talk about that, we have two wonderful mothers and then women representatives. So let me add or welcome Suswagatam, Mrs. Parimala Murthy. She is the founder of AHEAD organization. And we also have Mrs. Padmakshi, who is the director of AHEAD organization. Uh, Hearty congratulations and Suswagatam to both of you for such a noble thought.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So to begin with, I will talk to Parimalaji. What made you to think that today's education system is not as good as it should be?
Definitely education is good because we have progressing with time period, and every time period has its own advantages, challenges, and sail through point and survival point also. Current education system, at least with respect to our country, India, the way I look at it is, not, we can never say that only past was good, the present is not good, and the future will not be good. That can't be the way to look ahead. So keeping in mind how we as a country did really well, even when it came to education and the GDP, we were at the top three. So with that case, what happened in the last few hundred years was the change in the education system, which was planned and implemented in our country during the colonial rule, more so to be specific, during the British rule, I would say. And that education system affected the mindset of generations to come. I don't know how many more generations we have to wait to see a big revolution or a change. So, but in general, any education will be effective and implementative or impactful only if values are added to it. So if a person with a value, integrity, if that person brings in the presence, then we will see a big impact in education. So I would look at education as a approach, only then it is called as a holistic, when it has values and integrity imbibed in it.
Super. Padmakshi ji, being a mother, I want to ask you, what kind of education system would you like to see for your children?
See, as Vivekananda said long back ago, see, the education is not just reading, writing, or this one. It should be the manifestation of the perfection which is there inside each and every human being.
Correct.
So always, as Parimalaji said, after colonial rule, education has become reading and writing. So that has unknowingly or knowingly we accepted that. That
True.
is the main hit our India got, my Bharat got, I would say.
Yeah.
So from the root, they have pointed out our whatever culture, glory of Tejasvi Bharata had. They pointed out that, and they wanted to uproot it, that, and for some extent, I say they have become successful. So to undo that, now what our education as a mother, what I feel is,
Yes.
our education should have all the facilities for a human being. All the things are there within the human being as a child, because Bhagavan will give everything when it is there in the womb itself, in mother's womb.
True.
So but we have to, the education system has to trigger that, whatever all the good qualities are there in the child, trigger that, so that it will become that person, or the child should become a good citizen. So that is lacking in our education system. So that has to bring back, then only our Bharat will become Tejasvi Bharat. That's what, as a mother, I feel.
You are bang on point. Somehow we are accepted that colonial way of teaching, and we think that if my child is talking impressive English, if he is having that so-called mannerism, and he has so-called the sophisticated way of behavior, then he is a good human being. But at the same time, we are forgetting that there are some things which makes him as you rightly said, Manushya. And Vyakti Nirman is a big challenge that every nation is going through. Why America or other developed countries are not able to progress in spite of having so much of prosperity? Because they lack on that
Yeah,
spiritual background, and
yeah,
that's what is our treasure. And we need to definitely make other people, or rather the supta atmas to understand
yeah,
that and
yeah,
read about it. Parimala ji, just now, as Padmakshi ji said, and you also mentioned, and I'm also thinking the same thing. Like hundreds of schools are around, and they're taking a hefty money for education. And we, as a parent, are ready to share. At a time, three schools we enroll to because I don't want to lose the seat for my child.
yeah,
Now, in spite of that, there is an argument that my teacher, I have paid to the teacher or I have paid to the school. Why can't they teach everything to me? Why should a parent be teaching a child something at home? Because when it comes to sanskar, school blames parents, parents blame school.
yeah,
How do we achieve this?
Yeah, we have seen in the history, not just in our country, across the world, where we had great mothers who identified that potential in their very children. So, to give the Indian example, our very Swami Vivekananda's mother, Narendra's mother, Bhuvaneshwari Devi, saw that spark of divinity in him, saw that spark of service in him, that humanness in him. He felt emotionally connected with every human being across the universe. So she felt that, and she accordingly gave him that atmosphere to grow and know his potential. Once Vivekananda Narendra says he wants to be a Tangawala, immediately the mother says, shows the picture of Arjun and Krishna and says, if you want to be a Tangawala, be this kind of a Tangawala. So look at Krishna, who is known for his strategy, who is known for his witty and wisdom, who is the guide for the entire universe. So I still remember when we visited the Department of Psychiatry in Boston, MIT University, the HOD of the psychiatry department had this Krishna Arjuna picture. And when we asked him, how come you are having Krishna's photo? He says Krishna is the best teacher or psychiatrist in the whole universe. So if we can put forth such kind of ideals in front of our children, this is achievable. Is it only in India? No. What did Einstein's mother do? When the teacher had written a letter that your son is impossible to be admitted not just in our school, in any school. And she says, you're too smart to go to any school. So let us do homeschooling for you. And here we see Einstein, who grew beyond walls, who
yeah,
invented a lot of things that the entire world is still cherishing and reinventing based on his principles.
yeah,
So I think mothers are also teachers. Teachers should also be mothers. So when they both work on this path, we will see the divinity being manifested in that child.
exactly.
Makes a lot of sense because everybody's first guru is mother. And that's exactly where the teaching starts from the day one.
Yeah.
I have a question for both of you. Maybe I'll begin with Padmakshi ji. What is the vision of ahead, Padmakshi ji?
As we are talking about values and education, and our vision is holistic development of the person. It's a holistic development of the person, not only in the education, though. For example, not only to the student, it is to the parents also. See, we have lot of problems nowadays. We are hearing lot of problems regarding parenting of child, and there are a lot of problems in the educational institution also. For example, for the teachers, like take example of teachers. See, now we are talking about the values we should give it to the child so that it should become a good citizen of our country. So to give that, the person who is giving, he should also have some values, right? If he has values, see, I don't believe in preaching, because I have practiced, and as a mother I'm telling, preaching doesn't work at all. So if you want to preach, you should have that in
True.
yourself. If
Okay.
you act like that, then only the other person who is observing you, he will absorb
Follow.
that like a sponge, right? So our vision of this ahead is, it's a holistic development of the person. He may be a student, he may be a teacher, he may be a parent. So we want holistic environment in our country. I, uh, you may think it is too big, but I'm not restricting myself to our ahead itself. It's not restricting to our country itself.
Okay. Okay.
If Bhagwan ka prerana hai to, we want to reach to globally also. So holistic development of a person, I can say that,
A person. Hmm. Good.
with
So,
the good values, as if
right, right.
holistic means everything will come, right?
Come under that.
To add on to what Padmakshi Vaidya said,
Yes,
the
yes.
one-liner vision we have
Hmm,
statement in ahead is
hmm,
personality development
hmm,
based on universal values.
Values.
So our rishis, whom I proudly call them as research scientists, they
hmm,
are no more just sages or saints.
hmm.
So they says ano bhadro krutavo yantu vishwataha. So let noble thoughts come from everywhere.
Yeah, very
So
good.
everywhere we have all these existing, just that they're inside, they need to be found out and manifested. So that is our vision. Personality development based on universal values is
Values.
the vision of ahead.
Now that we are taking the references of many great personalities, so why talk about ancient time? Even today's time, you see the great chess player. Mother is the first teacher who taught Vishwanathan Anand,
Yeah,
and that's how he's representing the nation, and we are proud of it. So there are many such examples in today's day also,
yeah,
wherein if there is a correct
definitely.
environment around, both at family and at school,
School.
and eventually at society, the child would definitely be a bright child and definitely conquer the world around him. Padmakshi ji, as a as a director of Ahead, I just want to ask you one very specific question. How easy it is to convince teachers that your way of teaching is not correct or needs improvement?
Frankly speaking, yeah, for any person, you may take it to a child also, or for example child also. If you say upfront, see, you are doing the wrong thing, it
Mm,
will not accept.
mm,
For example, take any animal, like we are homo sapiens, right? Forget it.
yes.
Animal also, if you say with the shout loud voice,
Mm,
if you shout at that, it will
mm,
not like it. So
mm,
it's same thing, it is the same thing for everybody, I feel. So to the teacher, if you say, yeah, the way you are teaching is not good, so it is not acceptable, because he or she is a homo sapiens. He will not, definitely not like it. But
true.
see, we have wonderful programs for teachers.
Mm,
So never, never we say that the teacher is not guru. See, there is a difference between teacher and
true.
guru. Guru is the person who who tries to embed all the good values, everything, so that his sishya, that student, should prosperous like a star. He may be a small guru. He may his limitations may be restricted to some village or something like. But
Yes.
his ambition for the student is very big.
Yes.
So the in our ahead, there is a very wonderful program from teachers to guru. So that itself will, if you go through that, this program, definitely will understand that itself. You know, no need to say that to the teacher that you are not, the way of teaching is not good. If he undergoes that training itself, he will understand where I am lacking, what I am doing, and how I should prosperous, so that I should become a guru. Definitely they will accept that. Right now, most of them are teachers, they are not
Yes.
gurus.
Is there no
Definitely
question?
there are some people who are gurus now also. But
Yes.
still there are some channels where they can improve and they can become guru. So that's what our head ahead program is. So I don't think we should say to anybody, any teacher, that the way you are teaching is wrong. Just we will give a glimpse of our training to the teachers. Definitely they will understand that I'm not a guru, I'm a teacher. So I think that is the best way to convince the teachers,
Yes.
instead of saying that the way you are teaching is not the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Wonderful. So now, Parimala ji, now we come to the crux of the problem. Um, in what is your way of reaching out to the three categories just now we discussed: child, parent, and teacher? So how are you approaching all of them?
The way we look at the education system right now, it has to be strong with four pillars.
Yes.
So one is the institution heads, the founders of institutions, the teachers, parents, and students. All four are equally important, and they have a major role to play and contribute back to the society. So we approach education institutions and put forth our vision or our mission and our passionate idea to bring this change in the education system. So like Padmakshi was saying, when we go to the teachers workshop, we want to really focus more on teachers, because it's not easy to touch millions of students across the nation. So it's the teachers who spend their time with the students, and teachers can create better impact on the students. So why we say teacher, even in our ancient or the traditional language, Sanskrit, shikshaka is the first step, and ultimate step is guru. So why? Because shikshaka is there as an instructor, as a teaching faculty, to a guru who is a visionary. So who is a visionary? So there was this Ramakrishna Paramahamsa who could see Vivekananda in Narendra, and there was this Swami Vivekananda who could see Nivedita in Margaret.
Correct.
And so the journey continues. So we want to create such teachers who would become visionaries to address any challenge that the world is facing, the universe is facing, even a small city is facing. So can we create good students, or smart students who will identify how they need to work in the challenging atmosphere? Because Ramakrishna never gave any suggestions to Vivekananda or Narendra. So he only prepared him. And looking at the challenges, it was Swami Vivekananda who used his wisdom and gave back to the society. So we want to first train the teachers, not just train. We want them to go through this journey of teacher to guru. And we have three levels like Prerana, Viveka, Vikasa. It is inspiring them first. Then they have to internalize all that values that need to be there in them, and then integrate it. So they have to bring it in their life. So only when we see someone doing it is when we will do. So that's what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa did. And we want to really see more such gurus in the future. And that is possible once we have every teacher is in this journey.
Yeah.
So education system, the educational institutes become our point of contact. So we reach them and we start working with the teachers first, conducting workshops to them, and from then on to parents, because it's teachers, parents, and students.
Students.
So students need not be taught anything. All they need is to be a wonderful atmosphere to be given by teachers and parents, and they will automatically blossom and give back to the world.
Yeah, I echo your point. Students follow the examples, and if you set right examples, they would follow that. So it's like a
Yes.
kacha matka. You just have to shape it up. The way
Yeah.
you shape it up, it will come out that way.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. Padmakshi ji, now which mother will accept that I'm not doing the required sanskar or required training to my child? Why should ahead teach me what I should do?
See, nowadays what I feel is, as I'm talking to so many people uh, in my area.
Correct.
So, like most of the mothers say, how much tell to my kid, it will not listen.
Huh.
She or he will not listen.
Huh.
So she accepts that she is if you grade her, she is in somewhere one or two, not in eight or nine, grade 10. Okay, so she knows that she is
Is
lacking
lacking.
somewhere.
Hmm.
uh, that is the big step I feel, because accepting their weaknesses is a first point. If they accept their weaknesses, then we can say that, yeah, you have these weaknesses, you understood that, we can give the support to you so that your weaknesses will go, and you can become good, mother, good parent. So uh, as you said, upfront we cannot say to any mother
Hmm.
that you are not doing the duty whatever what you should do.
Hmm.
But uh, if something from, as Parimala ji said, we are targeting educational institutions.
Hmm.
So if the teacher says one single sentence to the, after going through our journey of teachers to guru and all those levels,
Yeah.
definitely 100% I'm sure
Hmm.
there is a change in the teacher, because he is in the process of guru.
Hmm.
So he will utter one or two sentences, positive sentences, to his students. That
Hmm.
is his changes, his or her changes. That sentence will be there in the student's mind.
Right.
That will go to the parent.
Yeah.
That parent will analyze,
Hmm.
if he or she is weak,
Hmm.
he will analyze, then
Hmm.
definitely he will come back to the teacher that
Hmm.
my student, my child is telling like this.
Hmm.
So where, what I should do to overcome this. So then that cycle, that circle will come. Then we'll with our ahead volunteers, we can train the parents, and we can say that you can become a good parent. Holistic development, it's a holistic development again.
Yes, yes. No, agree, completely agree. Like the parenting way back was different than the parenting now.
Yeah.
We can blame many things around us, the development, the so-called globalization and modernization. And at the same time, it has its own positivities also. It has its own strength as well. Because we proudly say that my child is operating mobile phone better than me.
Yeah.
That is also a fact.
Yeah.
We cannot deny that. So that is also something we cannot say that, oh, this is not correct or this is not good. Having said so, Parimalaji, now that what we spoke, there are lots of ifs and buts. The thought gets absorbed in a teacher and then it gets transmitted to the child. Then it goes to the mother and then the father also likes it and they think of working on it. How tedious is job this? Or are you too optimistic?
Uh, we can definitely be optimistic. We have to be optimistic, but I would definitely look at it this way. It's the teacher who spends most of the time with the
Huh.
student. So that part is more. That's the reason our first focus is a teacher. So nowadays, knowing the challenges of the electronic media being attractive, even the parents are not giving the sufficient time they need to give for their children. So it's always the parent-student relationship which will nurture the personality of the student, and the atmosphere in the school definitely will create an impact. I was reading this book called The Leader in Me, and there are a couple of schools in USA and in Australia which are working on creating community leaders. And they have a big demand. Even the celebrities would come and offer services to the institutes so that their children get admission to the school. And so in that case, see, whenever we want to buy an gadget like a phone or a iPad, we go and check with the company what is the warranty, how many years you warranty you give. So has any parent questioned the institution where we leave our children for 16 years? So after 16 years, your child will be more valuable to the society. Your child will not be untruthful. Your child will be honest, right? So no institute is in a position to guarantee this. That being the case, this has to be addressed, no doubt. And we are looking at it in a bigger way. That's the reason we have chosen this word called holistic. So it can't be done in one day and by one person or one thought process. So it has to be done throughout. So only if that is available throughout to the child when it is growing, then we can see the impact. And it has to be done through education system. That's the reason when I was wondering the Gurukula system, why it was so unique is Rama spent when from 18 years to 16 years in Gurukula. So day and night he was with his teachers. So he lived the life of his teachers. He saw them, and his personality was developed. So that is the difference, that when it comes to learning age, we have to give our 100%. So Vivekananda says, whatever you do, do 100%. And our Varnashrama Vyavastha is like that. The first 18 years or the 20 years is for learning. And if we can give 100% there, then we can move on to the next coming ashramas, be it the Grihastha ashrama, which will sustain the other ashramas. That's when we are more productive and contributing. So to give, we have to have. And that having period is the initial period. So that's where we need to focus, like you said. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. And all of us need to collectively think through. One or two persons thinking about it will not work. Yeah. So it has, that's the reason I'm telling it's a system that needs to work together. The four pillars, the founders of institutes, teachers, parents, and students. And of course, the society that will support them. And they have to work together. Only then we can see results, valuable results.
Very true. Um, I'm just acting as a devil's advocate, and what I'm trying to understand is so much of a downfall of society around us is such a challenging situation and societal problems around us. It's extremely difficult to overcome all kind of negativity that we are seeing around, and with this social media impact, the modernization is becoming day by day even more difficult, and especially to keep your child away from this is a big challenge for the parent. And as I said, now the world is such that you cannot tell them no to something. You have to support them what they ask. So, Padmakshi ji, um, what would a parent carry home when they attend a head program? What is their takeaway?
See, lot of things
Okay, if I
means,
ask you most important three things.
first of all,
Mm.
what I feel is 95% of parents, they preach a lot than what they are.
Mhm.
See, our ahead, first thing it will say is, don't preach,
Mm.
act. Because through the activities only we say to the parents that what you are, that is absorbed by the child.
Mhm.
So what you should become the role model, then
Yes,
only the child will listen. See,
wonderful.
that's the first thing we say in the ahead program. So first, that the first that
Takeaway is that.
internalization should be done by the parents. After going through the ahead, they will internalize it definitely.
Mm,
Second thing is, what weaknesses are there,
mm.
they should accept. If any weaknesses are
Yes,
there in the
yes, yes,
child, they
yes.
should accept that.
That's a
that
good
that
point.
that we will say in ahead training to
Mm,
the parents.
mm,
See, if every child will not have all the qualities,
mm.
it may be good in one thing, it may
Yes.
be good in bad
Another
in
thing.
other
Yes,
thing.
yes, yes,
But
yes.
don't hold on to the bad thing only and neglect the good thing. So
Mm,
you support, give more support to the good thing, so
mm,
that it will cherish in that
mm,
that field.
mm.
That we give that perspective we give in the ahead training to the
Yes,
parents.
yes.
And last but not the least, we say in ahead we say, uh, your child is a prosperous citizen of the country. So don't think it is your own child, it is the responsible citizen of the society also. So don't think it is individual, don't become too individualistic and think about only your child.
Uh-huh.
It is your one child that is bad or good. It will be useful to the society also, so that it will be useful to the so many other parents also.
Mm,
So that is the main thing we say, because personality development with all the good values, and it should be given to the society, not to the only your
mm,
family or your small kutumba. It
mm.
is to the society. That thing we say in ahead.
I really like the last point that the child does not belong to you alone. It is
Yeah,
a part of the society, and good or bad, it will have an impact on the society.
society.
So think on that. So you are saying that you are making the parents more as a facilitator than the
Yes,
preacher, is what
yes,
your point is.
yes, yes.
That makes a lot of sense and wonderful. Thank you for sharing that insight with me. Parimalaji, I also saw somewhere that you have a program that which is a student program wherein you are giving them value-based skills, you are also giving them excellence guidance, and you're also giving them the career guidance. So now I'm asking little modus operandi here. You need not reveal everything, but in short, something. Do you have a people who are capable of doing such thing for the mass scale students available outside? And how successful are you as of now?
So for students, like I told you, we are reaching out to students not just in cities, even in rural areas, the villages also. So usually what is happening is the current trend, the rural students are facing or developing this inferiority. Looking at the village, city students, that we
Yes,
are not able to
yes,
crack the
yes, yes.
UPSC exam, we are not able to go through the professional courses.
Yes.
But is it that we need? There are much more than that. So can this city or the society be only full of engineers? No. And that too software engineers,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not going to work. So we need a hardware that can only sustain a
You know
software.
everything.
So we want to make sure that through our career development programs, and dear friends and viewers, just to let you know that our very host, Ketaki Kulkarni, is one of our resource persons. She is developing our modules also for academic excellence and career guidance programs. So, like you know, we had this wonderful NEP 2020, New National Education
Yes,
Policy
yes, yes.
2020, where the focus is more on your career, your vocational training, depending on your capacity to give back. So, we want to orient the students along with your studies. You choose what you want to, and you can stay in very own city or your village and contribute back. You can be an entrepreneur. You need not be someone who will work for another person. So, if you look at the world scenario, to be little frank with you, most of the IIT graduates are working under somebody in some companies.
Yes,
So it's again the other challenging group. They are the entrepreneurs who will hire these IITs.
very
So that's
correct.
why for teachers we always tell on a lighter note, the teacher should be scared, very careful and skeptic about the first benchers and the last benchers. The first benchers will become your colleagues soon. for a teacher, and the last benchers will become a leader or politician and will start dictating terms to you. So a teacher has to keep in mind these two students, first bench and the last bench. Then you will be able to see the impact. So like you said, I really feel that it is very much important that we focus more on overall opportunities that a student has in front of him or her. So a place doesn't matter, be it a city or a village or a town. So it's like the capacity which is very important. So right now in our Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government, a separate team is working on capacity building, and one of our known persons is part of that team. So he shares wonderful insights that is happening there. So that capacity building has to happen with every student, every child, every individual. So we are working in that direction, facilitating the child to go for more career options and not to choose the very minimal option which might not suit that student by according to the student's nature. So like Padmakshi was saying, I long back heard Sadhvi Ritambara, who used to say that her parent ko sahaj rehna chahiye. So the moment you are sahaj, you are allowing the wings to grow by itself to its fullest capacity. So that leads to the career options right now are in such a way. NEP is going to facilitate that. So we want more of parents to be aware of these opportunities, and we want them to encourage their children to go for such opportunities. Suppose someone chooses artificial intelligence, but one of the subjects that he or she can study can be music, can be psychology. So this has to happen so we get the holistic perspective for the development of the student.
Impressive, really great. Question to both of you. You choose who want to answer first. There is a biggest disparity between the children from rural background and children from urban background. Having said so, none of the child is having an easy life. Okay, everyone has their own challenges. The children from village may not have more opportunities or more equipments available. The city child is having too many things. Not to what to choose is a question for them. Now, how do we leverage both these skills on each other?
Padmakshi, you want to go first?
No, you carry.
Yeah. So when it comes to, like you said, that's been the way it's happening. A village and a student and a city student. If I would look back 50 years ago, Sarem Vishweshwaraya comes from a very backward village.
Absolutely.
And that village never had drinking water facility also. But what was great about his time period was his teachers were very passionate. They were well educated, and they gave him the knowledge of science in his very own Matrubhasha. So mother tongue language, the concept of learning was with the language of convenience for the student. But right now, as I told you, the colonial education's impact, we are seeing so much that honestly, Ketaki ji, if I interact with a city student, even a private school going student is neither comfortable in English nor in Kannada. And same thing is happening in a village. Even though we know that the child is conversing in the native regional language, be it Kannada, Hindi, Marathi or Tamil, they don't know their very own mother tongue in a perfect way with grammar. They cannot express in their mother tongue, and they're trying their best to express in English, where they're failing and going through this inferiority crisis. So somewhere we have to break this banner and move ahead. That's the reason I use this word ahead a lot. So we are all here to give this holistic approach that to progress, we have to have a wonderful mindset, which is important. And that will break all the barriers. So a village student, right now, they're getting a lot of opportunities. So we work in collaboration with many NGOs who have started UPSC training in villages itself. So they are giving from 6th standard, from 9th standard, from 12th standard to UPSC IAS aspirants. So they're preparing them. And those who want to join army also, many of them are clueless. So we have a lot of NGOs who are identifying students from rural areas and trying to at least facilitate them to come to nearby towns and attend these coaching classes where their confidence is boosted. So I think more such collaboration work needs to happen in the coming time period. It's not just one or two NGOs who can see big change. So if we can work in collaboration, we can see a greater impact.
Everyone has to think in the same Gotcha. Yes,
Yes.
Padmakshi ji, your thought.
Yeah, see, as me, basically, I am from a village. So my education happened in village itself. Now, what if I go back to my village? I don't feel that the students are lacking of any information compared to the city students,
Mm-hmm.
because there are mobile is there.
Mm-hmm.
So all the information they know, whatever they want to have, that is available for them in a mobile e- easily. See, so what I feel is, the way you accept, you take the information from your gadgets,
Yeah.
makes impact on the person who takes it. See, uh, b- if hunger is there, then
Mm-hmm.
only your food will be tasty. If it is hunger is not there, then whatever you gave in a plate, it will be okay, okay chalta hai, like that. So
No valued.
yeah, value also. See, that hunger of acquiring the knowledge to become a perfect person, uh, it it will be more, as a person, as a what you could say, as a mother, what I feel is, it is more in uh, a student who is lack of all the different facilities. If too much facilities are given to the student, then that hunger will go down.
Negative.
So so if that hunger of acquiring the knowledge to become a perfect person, to achieve something, then only because of that hunger, they will accept the information from the gadgets. So uh, in village nowadays, as Parimala ji said, lot of NGOs,
Working on this.
lot of people with
Yeah.
the good intention of giving to the society, like
Yes.
alumni of the school,
Big institutes.
yeah, so many people they are providing this one. So
Yes.
nowadays it has become very I can say it is very less that they are village students are having lack of information. It is their hunger which makes them lack or full. See, city students, they have all the exposure,
Yes.
but still they are lacking in achieving things, because too much of thing and they don't have hunger. That is the difference. So what I feel is, uh, uh, we have to, as a head team, my perspective is, we have to give that hunger to each and every student. It may be a village student or to the city student, then only they will become what they want to achieve. They will try to become what they want to achieve.
So, student exchange program or something is also
We are
thinkable.
looking at it. Yeah, yeah. Our vision in the long run is that
Yeah.
ideally we want few teachers. We want to select. We have this wonderful novel idea of ahead scholarships,
Mhm.
ahead guru. So
Mhm.
we want to identify few teachers who will carry our knowledge and visit other countries and check on the different education system that's happening there. And like you said, we want few students to go to different universities or schools and
Yes.
check out on the atmospheres that is available there, and that exchange has to happen at student level also. So we are working on that, hope to see it in couple of years.
Yes. I wish you all the best
Thank
for
you.
that.
Thank you. Thank you.
One crucial question here. Now that we are discussing a lot on this point, all the successful people that we see around, be it an industry, be it an academics, be it a government officials, or any prestigious position, all of them are coming from a humble background.
Yeah.
Hardly one or two is coming from a very progressive or developed background, but most of them have struggled, have seen a hardship in life, and they have reached to that particular position. Austerity is a key to success, is what my
Uh,
question is.
yes, yes. So, like Padmakshi was saying, we need that hunger to be in us. What is that I want to do? Unless I have a purpose in life, my life will not be meaningful. So, identifying and knowing the purpose in my life is very important. And my purpose in my life, if I, as a student, can I know it? or will my teacher help me through this?
Mm.
Will my teacher guide me, or will my parent guide me? Is the options that a student has. But end, I remember one very popular poet in Karnataka by name DVG. He was very much inspired by Gopala Krishna Gokule. So that's how we have the Gokule Sabhangana, D.V. Gundappaji. He says in Kannada, Ninage Neene Guruva Mankutimma. Ultimately, you are your very
Yes.
own guide. So you can guide your very own self. We have to come to that level. So education has to have this spiritual and philosophical background. So if we can go through that journey, that's when we become strong from within. So only a strong mind can even face the challenges of the physical body.
Yes. Yes.
That's very important. So we have to work a lot on creating strong minds. Right now, most of our minds are very weak. Hence, we are
Fever.
yeah, very feeble. That's how we are seeing a lot of depression cases,
Yes.
suicidal tendencies.
Yes.
So if you look at a perspective, सब कुछ अच्छा है उनके जीवन में. He has or she has money, everything. Why did they end their life?
Yeah.
There comes the question mark. So what was it that was driving them? It's the weak mindset.
Big.
So right now we have to work on this strong mindset. Even for Arjuna, Krishna says that no Klaibyam masma gama partha. Kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktvottishta parantapa. So it's Arjuna who's a bodybuilder. How can you feel weak? You're only feeling weak at mind. Leave that and get up, then you can fight the war. So I think we all have many wars to fight, for which we all need a strong mind.
Sant Tukaram has a abhanga. Now that you are giving reference, I also remember Nitya Dina Amma Yuddhasa Prasanga.
Mm.
Every day it's a war for
War.
us, and we need to fight it out. And we should teach not only students, every person to face failure
Yeah.
and also take some lesson out of it and not see as your failure. It's just
Yes,
that somewhere you are lacking and you need to improve on that. That's all about it. So that's what it is. Last word
absolutely.
from both of you I want on this. Um, where do you see ahead after 10 years?
Ideally, I want ahead to see in teachers happening. So it's the teachers who will take it further to their institutes.
Okay. And then what happens to
So,
ahead?
sorry?
Then what happens to ahead if teachers
Ah,
take it?
ahead will go through teachers to
Okay.
students, is what I was trying to tell. Ideally, there should not be any association like this for values. So, values has to come as an integral part of learning and teaching. So,
Yes.
so ahead has to be in every student's mind, ahead has to be in every teacher's life,
Mm.
and ahead has to be in every institute head's practice and integrity. So if we can see ahead there, so then it is definitely meaningful. It's not like me or this ahead having branches across the world. No, ideally we should reach a stage where the values are automatically seen, felt, and experienced in the
Yes.
society.
Yes.
So that's my ambitious dream that I have or we all have in ahead.
Society should be full of moral values and there should not be any ahead or any other organization working
Yeah.
on.
Absolutely. So one point that I really want to that we are focusing in the coming year is one of our signature programs is developing academic leaders. So
Mm.
academic leadership program where we will be only focusing on leaders in the academic space. So we are starting from Vyaktitva to Kartrutva through to Netrutva.
Wow.
So we want to see leaders who will whose personality is based on responsibility and duty based. So only then we can see an impactful leaders. So like you said, ahead should will work on building leaders with duty, responsibility, and integrity.
Indeed.
Excellent. Yes, Padmakshi ji, your last word.
Yeah. Uh, Ahead, as Parimala ji, totally second with her because um, Tejasvi Bharat, if you go back, there was no ahead, nothing. It
Mm,
was wonderful country.
mm, mm,
If you read the history, it was wonderful.
mm,
Why? Actually, if you take that, then there is no need of. If that continued, then there is no need of ahead to the current society. But
mm.
unfortunately, we have to have that to we have reached the dip point, so we have to
Yes,
rise now. To
yes,
rise ahead is there. After rising, why we should have the ahead? yeah, after rising, you are sustainable. Continue in that sustainable level, then Tejasvi Bharata, it will shine and it will become Divya Bharat only. So, as Parimalaji said, ahead concept should be there in the facilitators. What I mean is, here facilitators means uh, education institution, one
Yes,
part.
yes,
Second part is home, that is parents.
hands, yes,
In parents also, that ahead should be there. If facilitators and gurus, if both combine together,
hand
then
in hand.
no need of ahead to the society. So that's what our after 10 years, I feel it will reach that point. Then we can think of something else to be to give to the society, to our country, than ahead.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Parimalaji, if somebody wants to volunteer with you or want to be
Yeah.
part of your team, how can they reach you and what is that they can do if they want to contribute to your noble cause?
Yes, one of our directors who is with us, Padmakshi Vaidya, is our web designer too. So she has designed a beautiful page. Ahead for All is our website, and we have a Facebook page. We have an Insta page to
Yes,
follow now that we are in the media world,
yes,
and you can join us, be part of us. So we have a team of trainers who work actively at the upfront on
yes,
stage activities where we interact with students, teachers, and parents and academic
yes.
heads directly with the conducting the training programs. Yes, Ji.
I'm part of it.
Absolutely. So
Very good, very good.
we have Ketaki Kulkarni who is there on stage, off stage. So
Yeah.
the
I'm proud
second
of it.
level comes with academic expertise. So there are few academic experts who would not be able to give time for us on stage. So they are working with us in developing the modules,
Yeah.
and so they train the trainers who are us, and we go with this training team in front of students, teachers, and parents. Then we have a lot of soft back end work. So working on the web space, on the Insta space, creating reports, talking to students. And especially one of our signature programs is one-to-one interaction with students. So we have something
Yes.
called group counseling. So our trained counselors spend about an hour or so with a small group of 5 6 students. So we are looking for more holistic approach mindset counselors who can be with us and connect to students and be a friend to them to help them sail through this challenging journey of studenthood with teenage challenges. So all counselors are welcome to us, and all the connects for us to various institutes are welcome to us. So the moment you have this mindset of uh, uh, volunteering for the community with value education in mind, you have a space to work with us and for the community.
And one more thing, if they want to volunteer also, and if they have the hindrance of the, I don't know how to do the volunteering and all, for that also we have volunteering induction program
Yes, yes, yes,
regularly. So they,
yes.
whenever if they want to be part of ahead, they can go through that induction program, and they can get the training, and they can be the part of our team.
Wonderful. It's a collective job, as you are
Yeah.
saying from the beginning. It's not one or two people or
Yeah.
a handful of people job. It's a really big challenge, and everybody should join this activity definitely.
One shloka that really motivates me is the concept of education, which has come from time immemorial. I don't know which Rishi has made this shloka, so we can't even claim a patent. But since it's in Sanskrit, we can say it's from our country.
India,
So
yes,
this shloka I have learned from my teenage, and the shloka goes like this: Vidya dadati vinayam, vinayatyati patratam, patratva dhanamapnoti, dhanat dharmam tatas sukham. So ultimately, all of us want to be
yes,
happy
yes,
and to be successful. So how do we get this? Vidya dadati vinayam. So it's the education should gives us or leads us to humility. Then vinayat yati patratam. And humility is recognized or finds its values in character, in vyaktitva, in our very own behavior. So patratva dhanamapnoti. The moment we have a flawless character, wealth just comes with us. We don't have to look for wealth. So wealth in all sense. Nowadays, health is wealth. So
Yeah.
sound mind is wealth.
Yeah.
So wealth automatically joins us. Patratvat dhanam apnoti. And what else? Dhanat dharmam. The moment we have wealth, we know how to be responsible in this world, how to live our duties. See, dharma doesn't mean any religious word.
Yeah.
Dharma means the way we live, it's sustainable living, to say it in English. So the way we live should not affect anybody else, should not cause harm to anybody else. So dhanat dharmam. The moment with this wealth, if we are able to lead our life in a dharmic way, in a way of dharma, then tata sukham. All we have in the end is only happiness, ultimate happiness. So this is one shloka, I think, which is so full in itself.
Yeah.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखं मा भवेत्. That is the ultimate goal we want to reach to.
Yes.
So I wish you all the best, and
Thank you.
ahead should reach where it is targeting at. And I think as long as it is not only preaching and it becomes a facilitator, nothing like that. So thank you so much for your time, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thanks for Diva, and
Dhanyawad.
to you for hosting us and
Yeah.
facilitating this wonderful journey of conversation.
Dhanyawad.
Dhanyawad
Pleasure
ji.
is all mine. Namaste.